Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you're watching around the world. You are joining the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. We are in round two. It is Germany for the beautiful Hockenheim ring. I'm Energy Dan. I'll be bringing the commentary all this season, and joining me in the commentary box is last season's champion, the Warislander. Warislander, how are you, mate?
Thank you. I'm good, and I'm, as always, excited for this race tonight.
Yeah, I am too, mate. I absolutely love Hockenheim. I think it's a brilliant circuit. You and myself, had the pleasure of going round, watching you go around Hockenheim on the hot laps just a short time ago. It's going to be very interesting to see what the guys do in terms of strategy. Obviously, a couple of tricky points on this track, so I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, it surely will be, and it's also Hockenheim, Germany, Europe, which means that the chance of rain is normally quite high. So for the race fans between us, we will be hoping for that maybe.
Oh, don't tease me. Please don't tease me. we all know how much I get excited about the rain in these races. So, yeah, I mean, the drivers will probably hate me for saying this, but I really hope it rains here. Because it's not an incredibly difficult circuit to drive in the wet, even though we did see 2019 real-life Formula 1 have an absolute hectic Hockenheim race. But yeah, for esports, it's not particularly difficult. So anyway, while we're waiting for the guys to the race engineers get their cars ready for qualifying, should we run down the standings after round one?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. We should do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the drivers' standings now. Lozak in the Racing Point, he took a great win last week, sitting pretty on 15 points. But I think the already turning point of this championship is the fact that Aaron J and Colin J in the Alfa Romeos in P2, P3. So already they're taking a stonking lead in the constructors. I don't think they could have wished for, other than a 1-2, I don't think they could have wished for a better finish really for the Alfa Romeos. What do you think?
No, they look very strong, and also in pre-season, of course, that was quite good visible. So I think the overall best lineup lies with Alfa Romeo this season.
Yeah, and they're just nipping at their heels. You got the likes of RG44 in fourth, with Ferocious Dan, one of our veteran racers, in fifth. But then obviously he's sandwiched between the other Renault of Gaming Alamonda in P6. So again, the two Renaults very close together, scoring some top end points. Also being pretty strong for the constructors. You can't really deny the fact the Renaults have got off to a flying start, really.
I'm sorry, what that they didn't get a good start, or what did you say?
No, they did. I mean, the Renaults are in P4 and P6 last week. So I'm saying they did get a good start. It's
really.
So it's not bad at all, mate, in my opinion.
No, I think it's very good for the Renaults, and as I'm just looking at the standings right now, RG, yeah, of course. Is it both Renaults have new drivers this season?
Yes,
right?
they are. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. So that's why it's also maybe quite impressive.
Of course, yeah. I mean, they couldn't have wished for a better start for new drivers. I think it's very impressive. And then after Gator Malawanda, we've got Delange in the Mercedes in P7. We've got Sab, another one of our veteran drivers, Invictus. I think he'd be pretty happy with P8 in the McLaren. It's not a bad start at all. Captain Stiff in P9 in the other Mercedes. Just nipping at the heels of Delange. And then, of course, in P10 we've got Estimats. I think it's his third season now. He's in P10 in the Red Bull. We've got Humberstone. I believe he's in second season, or maybe even third season for Humberstone, in the Haas in P11. Biofreak, I think it's his second season now, in Ferrari in P12. We've got Steen. In fact, these are all no-point scorers, so we'll go through them quickly. We've got Steen, then Coop. We've got Matty in P15, Nick J. Thompson in 16, Tankanano 3 in 17, Tony White in 18, TB2 in 19, and then Ike's Fun in 20. So we're hoping from P11 down to P20 that these guys can score some points today and sort of like claw back some positions on these guys, because what you don't want is non-scoring races at the start of the season. You want to always score points, don't you?
Yeah, you really do, and obviously we must not forget that at the end of the race, a lot of guys got caught out by the rain because they were expecting the rain to come, and the rain did come, but it just didn't really break loose. So there was a very weird situation where the slicks were even faster in the wet. So in the last 2-3 laps, the guys on Inters lost a lot of positions. For the likes of Bio, Freaks, I believe Coop as well, and that is why Sab also got up into 8 from P11 or something in the last lap, so that was quite hectic.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, Hockenheim does always throw up serious curveballs in strategy. I mean, you were giving us the insight during the hot laps that you don't think the softs are going to be a part of qualifying, which will be interesting to see. I think there's always 2 or 3 races on tracks that are predominantly medium tyre qualifying setters that will try the softs to at least try and get up a few positions and maybe just try and tag along in the first stint, just not really push, just take it easy. And if you think about looking after the softs, it wouldn't be a bad strategy around here. If you could just tickle away, let's say, string those softs out for a good maybe 13, 14 laps, that could open up the strategy. But again, that is just pulling at straws, mate. I'm only spitballing here, mate. But what do you think about that? Could you go nicely on the softs and just tickle away at them, or do you think it's not even possible?
Well, I think this strategy could be something if you're a good defender. Because if you go on the softs and you go just a little bit early, because I think the guys on the mediums will be coming in lap 16, 17 or something.
Yeah.
So if you go into the hards like lap 10, then you have to do 25 laps, 24 laps on the hard tire, and obviously once you go into the hard tire, you will have the better pace over the guys on the mediums. And then the only thing is that at the end of the race, the guys behind will have better pace. But if you're a good defender, then you can just try and keep those positions by some harsh defending. So there will always be some guys who are going to try it, and even though I think the medium to hard is the strategy to go with, I don't think you're ruled out once you go onto the softs.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, some people have tried the hard to mediums, but I don't think the hards work around here in the first stint. With heavy fuel loads, it takes a good couple of laps to warm up, but then you just don't have the traction when everyone else is on mediums. I don't think we're going to see the hards to mediums at all. Be very interested to see if anyone does go for that. But yeah, I think you're right by saying mediums to hards is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, it is. As I was touching upon as one of the hot laps, you have to look out for the massive trains in this race, because I think if the pace is similar between these guys, like 1 or 2 tenths, and they can stay in each other's DRS, it will be very easy to stay close to each other and save the ERS and get away with that, because certainly on this game and in this track in particular, the DRS will be quite powerful for your race strategy.
Oh, of course. I mean, contrary to that though, although the DRS is powerful around here, because it's quite a fast circuit and there's quite a few medium to long straights, I think the ERS needs to be saved quite a lot. You need to be very careful with the ERS, especially in the first and second sector where it's quite open and quite fast. It's very easy to burn your battery down. So I think we might see a couple of mistakes where people burn the battery out or don't save the battery enough.
Yeah. So that's really what you want, because if you can just stay behind someone in the DRS, then you can almost use no ERS and at a later phase in the race use that ERS to drive away from someone.
Of course,
I think that could be a strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I totally agree. But yeah, I think between turn 4 and 6, that's your main overtaking point for this race. So watch out, anyone listening in live or in after the race is finished. If you're watching this back on YouTube, yeah, certainly watch out between turns 4 and 6. That second DRS straight. I think it's going to be serious contention for some serious overtakes there. So I'll be very interested to see what happens there.
Yeah, certainly. And but I think, yeah, this track it's just nice to drive, but there is some points on the track where you have to be careful, because if you just lose your concentration for just a split second, it can ruin your race already.
Oh, of course, mate. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, one of my media correspondents just said that Ixfun has had a technical issue regarding his hands device, and he's waiting for the safety team to bring a hands device to him before he can get in the car. So I believe we're going to get Ixfun joining a little bit later because of that defective safety equipment. So hopefully we'll get Ixfun some way through qualifying. Hopefully not too late into qualifying. But yeah, it's one delayed race so far, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's hope he can get in. Yeah.
And I believe TB2 has a fuel issue, which is preventing his car being fired up. So we're going to see TB2 join slightly late in the session. Let's hope they can get that fuel issue sorted. So yeah, we're just almost getting ready to watch our guys fire up those engines and get raring to go around this round 2 Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Week Performance race and this qualifying session. I'm really eager to find out if this is going to be wet or not, Laris, after what we said. Here we go, moment of truth. The weatherman will be speaking ever so shortly.
Long black moment, and it is
dry. There we go.
I'll ask the weatherman on location what the weather is going to be like.
That'd be fantastic, mate. If you can,
yeah. Later on in the session.
That'd be brilliant, mate. Yeah, because I genuinely hope it's raining.
I know. I can remember that from last year. But every time we did the hot laps, you said, "I hope it's going to rain," and then every time my reaction was, "No, I don't hope so," because. Yeah, very funny.
Yeah, be good.
But this time I do hope so as well.
Yeah.
But even though I think I'm quite okay in the rain, you just never, because the most practice you do is in dry weather, so you never really hope for rain. I think no one does. There was even a quote from Ed Senna once that he says, "Yeah, I don't like driving in the rain either, but I'm just good at it."
Yeah, he was a master at it though, wasn't he? He really was.
As the first guys are coming out right now, and they're all. Oh, let's see what the tires are like.
You see, Ferocious Dan's out first. He's got the hard tyre on. We can see quite a few guys out already on the hard tyre. Yeah, I mean, there's the majority are on hards, mate. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but there's already 3 guys on softs. So
yeah, so that's thrown us out of what we were saying.
Yeah,
this is interesting. So I mean, as normal, you would expect the guys to go out on hards just to get a bit of feel for the circuit and warm up, get the feel. You know, you won't want to waste a medium set warming up on the circuit, getting your feel for the track. So that might be why the guys are coming out on hards. I mean, what did you used to do, Wise, when you were racing in Formula 2? Did you come out on the harder compound to warm up, or did you not bother with that?
It depended on what kind of strategy it was. So if it was a race like this where it's a medium to hard, I would always come out on the hards. But I never chose a tire just to get into the rhythm of the track, because mostly I had done so much practice that I knew what I had to do, and I knew a banker lap would already be quite good for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm slightly different. I mean, even if I feel confident about a certain circuit, I do always like to go out on the harder tyre, because track temperature and obviously air temperature is a big thing, and I'm one of those people that likes to just get a feel for, or get a rhythm going, and I don't want to waste tyres doing that, so that's why I used to do that.
Yeah, I can understand that. As Ixfun has got his hands device back now, and he has joined the session.
Ah, fantastic. Great stuff from the team there to get him out.
No one's set in time yet. Yeah, yellow flag in sector 1, as I'm just following Lozak, our winner from last race, making a little mistake. A bit of oversteer into the stadium section. Lap looks quite good.
So I'm just on board with Ferocious Dan. He's come across on a 113.382. So that's the pace setter on the hard tyres. Aaron J comes around on a 114.7. Just on board with Biofreak, who's about to come across the line. And he sets a 1:14.2. He moves up to P2, so not bad from him at all. Who we got? I'm trying to work out who we've got coming across next. I think it might be DeLange. Yeah, DeLange coming across the line. What does he do? Oh, DeLange goes quicker at a 1:13.343. Fantastic from him on the hard tyre. That's a brilliant lap on hard tyre, don't you think?
That is very quick. And Nick goes under it with a 1:13.
Wow. So, yeah, there you go. People are putting in some serious laps. Now, I think Colin is in the pits. Can't see the pits. Sab in the McLaren. He's coming up to the Sector 3 now, followed by his teammate in the rear. So we should be able to just flick between these two as they cross the line. Sab's gone way over the expected time. Obviously, he must swing on outlap.
Incredible lap times being set right now. 11.8. Yeah, of course they're on the soft tires, but still that is very quick.
Ferocious Dan continued on. Yes, he has. He's got a 5th. Oh, wow. So, yeah, fantastic stuff from the McLaren driver there. So, obviously, we expected the two soft sitters to post those laps, mate. But, you know, we've still got the likes of Estimats, who's out on some hards. I wonder why we're seeing so many people set times on hards. I'm not sure I understand that, Warriors. Do you, mate?
Yeah, it's probably because you're all going for the medium to hard strategy, and if you do the go to qualifying, you only have one set of hards and one set of mediums. So there's just not much of a choice than go for your banker lap on the hard tyre.
Estimats P7 with 1:13.681. So these hard tyres, there's not much in it. Pretty close for the hard tyres there.
Yeah, it is. It's only a few tenths.
He's on board with NJ Coupe. He's on an outlap. He's not going fast at all. So let's just see if we can go to... I believe Biofreak's going to come in. Gaming Alamonda. He's set a lap already. But is he going to go even faster?
Dan did a 1:31 on the hard tyre. On 3-lap old hard tyres. What? That's a very good place from him.
That is on the hard tyres. I'm very impressed by that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and about the pace deficit to the mediums at the end of the session should be around a second. So we could see 1:12 once here, I guess.
But, I mean, let's just talk about Tony Wyan and Nick J. Thompson on the soft tyre. We spoke about it in Hot Laps and in the intro to this session that you wouldn't really want to go on the soft tyres. But do you think they're going to try and break away in the first lap and then just turn it down a little bit? And try and go long on the softs?
That's the only choice they've got. My advice would be use a lot of ERS in the beginning and try to get away from the DRS from those guys. But because as soon as they can stay in your DRS, then it's going to be very hard to keep them away from you, certainly, because those soft tires are going to go off after 4, 5, 6 laps.
Yeah,
so
I totally agree.
So you need to break away from that 1 second gap. That's the key. But that was because Tony Y almost always does this, always goes into the softs. And last week he also just couldn't make that 1 second gap. So I think he'll be hoping to do that this week.
Yeah, I mean, we got Biofreak coming out on the mediums now, so he's the first person to pull the trigger on the mediums. But we're seeing more people coming out on softs, mate. Really, if you look down the list, we've got a lot of people coming out on softs again. Guilherme Lamonda, Mr. Steen. I think he's pitting though. So let's just see what happens when they come out of the pit. But it looks like they put softs on.
Yeah, but I think because there's 2 guys already who do it, they think, okay, I could be quick on the softs, and then if a lot of guys go to the softs, there's no problem, obviously, because then everyone is on the same strategy. So maybe that's what those guys are thinking.
So do you think Tony Y and Nick have kind of forced some people to go onto the softs?
Well, yeah, sort of. I think they did. But I think if they will be 1 and 2 for the beginning of the race, they could even help each other. If they could just, because we've seen that in the esports series, that the P1 and 2 would just every lap switch around and give each other DRS so they could save ERS and break away from the pack behind. So it will be interesting if we can see some sort of smart strategy from those guys. But yeah, of course, if there's more people on soft coming with them, then it's going to be a totally different race.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Sab, who looks like he's pulled side. Yeah, he's going to let the Mercedes guy go through, which I believe was the Lange. No, it's not. My apologies. It was Captain Stiff. He was on an outlap. Our Renault driver of RG, our French driver, he is on a fast lap, I believe, on the hard tyre. It's his first lap of the session. So let's just stay on board with RG and see what he can do. He's a pretty quick driver, RG. I was very impressed with what he did in pre-season and in the first race. I think he's a driver that we need to watch out for, Warriors.
Yeah, obviously, because he had a very good result last week already, and well, he's going out very late, obviously. But he's on the hard tire, so he's got 2 runs to go. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, he got a P4 last session in our first race of the season in Hungary. So I would imagine we're going to see RG pretty up there. I mean, he's gone P11 on his first fast lap, so fair play. But obviously, the hard tyres do take quite a while to warm up. Now, I would argue the fact that Hockenheim is very similar to Hungary in terms of elevation and the types of corners we get. So if he was comfortable to get P4, I would argue the fact that he could very well be a similar position this race. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. When I was practicing for this race this week, I'd never thought about it, but I suddenly also got to know that it's very similar to Hungary. Some corners are just a bit the same. Also, turn 1 is a bit like turn 4, I believe, in Hungary. You know,
yeah.
But then to the right, and some other sections as well. Obviously, sector 3 as well in the stadium. So, well, if that's a track he likes, and this is a track he should like as well.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I really do. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm still surprised how so many people, 6 minutes left and they're still on hards, still trying to set fast lap on hards. We've got a couple of people out on mediums now. I'm just going to stay on board with Captain Stiff, who's out on his first fast lap. He's looking pretty good, actually, coming through sector 3. He's coming to the last couple of turns now, and he could very well put a 112 in here, by the looks of it. Maybe even quicker. We're a little bit wide there. Let's hope he's not invalidated it. Just over, yeah. So he's at 113.2. So unfortunate for him. So yeah, just running down the order, we've got Tony Y in P1, Nick in P2, Mr. Steed in P3. There, our top 3 runners are on the softs. Now going down, we've got TB2 on the mediums. We've got Ferocious Dan on the mediums in P5. We've got Aaron J in P6 on the hards. Oh, that just changed. So we've got Biofreaks move up to 4th place. Sorry to miss that, guys, but Biofreak has come across the line and done a 112.523 on the medium tyres, which, to be honest with you, guys, if you look at that, you know, it's 3/10 slower than the soft tyre. That is a ferocious lap for Biofreak. What do you think to that?
Yeah, it's a very good lap. Well, we could also argue with the lap of Steen, because the quickest lap on the softs is now 1:11.8. So that's about 7/10, but I think that's a lap that could put him very well into this race.
Very, very much so, mate. Yeah, I'm very impressed by that time on mediums. I mean, I could only wish I'd been within 3/10 of soft tyres around this track, but yeah, very impressive. We're just on board with Lozak, our last week's winner. So we're going to see what he can do on those medium tyres. It's his first fast lap on those medium tyres. Coming up to the end of Sector 3 now, the last few corners. He is up. But how much is he up? Actually, no, he's not. It's going to be a few seconds. Oh, just about, yeah. Yeah, not bad. P4 on the medium tyres. I mean, he does go fastest of the medium setters, but I was expecting more from Lozak there. He's better than what we were on about with the medium tyre split. He's gone 2/10, a little bit over 2/10 quicker, so a very impressive lap from Lozak there.
So I'm just following around Ferocious Dan right now, also on his flying lap, I believe. It looks clean, but we'll see if it's fast as well.
Yeah, we're just on board with him now from a driver's view, of the T-Cam view. Coming to the last twisty section now, so it'd be interesting to see what he does, mate.
Yeah, so he's almost 2/10 up into Sector 2, but that's not an awful lot. Figuring that he's been on the hards before.
Yeah, comes across, yeah, 112.68. P6, not bad at all. I believe that last sector wasn't his quickest at all. I think he could have been a bit more aggressive on the acceleration. I don't know why you saw that, but I think...
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think that's not the difference you would want to have between a hard tire time and a medium tire time. So maybe something's happened on that lap, but I can't imagine he's too happy with that.
Yeah, I think it's Aaron J is about the next person, I believe, to come across the line. We've got Aaron J and Tankanan or 3 on fast laps coming through Sector 2, I believe. Don't know if you want to check that, Waris. But I'm on board with Aaron J coming to the end of Sector 2 now.
So Humberstone is up into 7th now with a 112.6.
Wow. Not bad from Humberstone. So track evolution is going to play a big part of this on those harder compound tyres.
And J125. Yeah, which is something that's also quite weird, I'd say, is that so much guys are going out already, like 2 minutes before the end of the qualifying, on their final laps, which means that the track could get better for 2 more minutes, but they choose to go already on their final laps, which I find a bit odd, I guess.
Yeah, well, it could be they want to get out there and just have time to find the gaps to have a clean run. We don't know.
That could be, yeah.
You've also got to take into consideration that, you know, some guys are harder on their tyres. You know, maybe they need a more gentle lap because on their qualifying lap they heat the tyres up too much. Everyone's style is different. That's what I find fascinating about Formula 1. Everyone's style is different. You know, some people are really great at keeping the tyres in the best optimum temperature. Some guys, you know, they rag the tyres, but they're really quick. You know, it's the variables involved in the strategy and the styles. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So Ferocious Dan coming across the line. Can he improve? Yo, just by one position, he moves it to P6. But he's done 3 laps on those mediums, whereas that's not ideal. That is not ideal on those mediums.
No, very weird.
I'm not sure why he's done that at all. This is on board with MJ Coop. We've not actually mentioned MJ Coop at all. So apologies to Coop because we've kind of overskirted MJ Coop there. He's up into P8. He's been the grey man in this session. We've not really noticed him at all. But he's up into P8.
Silent,
yeah, the silent assassin.
Yeah, but he's doing okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he's on a fast lap now, coming through Sector 3. Yeah, he's pretty down, actually. So I think he must have made a mistake there. Yeah, that's MJ Coop's session over. But provisional P8, unless someone else improves, he's done a really good session there.
So I'm just following around Captain Stiff right now, who's on his quick lap on the medium. So he has put in 13.2 on the hard tire, which means that
he's got free tyre choice. Oh, he's gone off.
He's lost a bit of his wing.
Wow.
De Lange is also on a quick lap, his teammate. Let's see what he can do. I think he'll be the last one to come over the line, actually.
Oh wow, P9.
P9
On the mediums, on one, look at that. He's the one person in the top 10 on mediums, other than Biofreak, that's done one lap on those mediums. Oh, sorry, no, Coop has as well. I do apologise. So there's 3 people that have done one lap on those mediums. So let's just note that down. Biofreak, Delange, and Coop. They're on very fresh medium tyres, opposed to everyone else's 3 or 2 laps. So yeah, sorry.
I just can't believe those guys are doing 3 laps.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
That could break. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, but yeah, that could really that could be the race for them, because on a stint of 15, 16 laps, 2 or 3 laps is a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know what those guys were thinking.
It is a lot, mate. It is a lot.
I think they just wanted to drive or something. They just can't wait.
So I mean, I believe that is the qualifying session over. I won't start running down the guys until we get to the main screen, because it always gets cut off. So bear with me, guys. But very interesting session there, Warriors, don't you think, mate?
Yeah, it really was. We've got 3 guys on the softs, so different strategies, different tire lives going into the race. I think this is going to be like a massive crisscross race. But and by the way, I got to tell you, I've got news from the weatherman on the track. It's going to be a clear race, so I'm sorry about that, mate.
Ah, man. You're off my Christmas list, Warislander. No, that's fine. No, at least we get to see the guys driving in a dry race with pace. So let's just run down qualifying. Tony White on the soft tyres in P1. Nick J. Thompson in P2, also on the soft tyre. We've got Mr. Steen in P3 on the second row on the soft tyre. Joining next to him is Lozak, last week's winner, on the medium tyre. We've got Aaron J. in P5 on the mediums. We've also got TB2 in P6 mediums. Biofreak 7 in mediums. Ferocious Stan 8 on mediums. We've got Delange in 9 on mediums. We've got MJ Coop bring up the P10 position on the mediums. We've also got Homer Stone, P11 mediums. Estimates mediums in 12, Tankananda 3 mediums in 13. We've got Colin J mediums in 14. Well, I won't say tyre choice because they've got their own free tyre choice from MJ Coop onwards. So we've got, my apologies, but yeah, from MJ Coop onwards, they have got free tyre choice. So we'll come to that on the race start. So for all our viewers watching, P1 to P10, they've got to start their race on the tyres that they set their fastest lap on. From P11 to the back of the grid, they have free tyre choice. Free tyre choice also means fresh tyre choice. So it might be worth stating that the free tyre choice could very well be a big implication on strategy. We also saw there that some guys had done 3 laps and 2 laps on the medium tyres. The front runners on softs had only done 1 fast lap. But there were some guys, P4 back to P10, some had done 3 laps. Which, is that strange, or am I overthinking that?
Those guys did more laps than 1 on the mediums.
Did 3 laps. Some guys did 3 laps on those mediums, mate. I mean,
you are, in my opinion, you're certainly not overthinking that, and I find it very strange as well.
Yeah,
you just want to have as fresh tires as possible. At least I would want that.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah, I mean,
those guys just didn't really think about it or something.
Unless we didn't see the pace properly, and they were doing 2 slow out laps to get the tyres warm and do 1 fast lap.
Yeah.
It does count as a fast lap if you do a lap. Where this is another thing we don't get to see in the commentary box.
That's true.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So yeah, maybe it's quite deceiving. Maybe they've just done 2 warm-up laps rather than the 1. Yeah, things we don't get to know. We should have crystal balls, Waris.
Yeah. Just touching upon, I was just thinking about that. You're talking about the free tire choice. I just wanted to say that if I was outside the top 10, I would go on hard tires, on fresh hard tires, and as you can see, A
Yeah.
lot of guys outside the top 10 have chosen for that. There's like Humberstone, Estemats, Colin, Matty, Captain Stiff, NRG, and Sab. They all go on hards, on fresh hards. So that'd be interesting as well to see if they can stick with the lead pack and get back in the end of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Yeah. Totally agree, mate. It'd be interesting to see exactly what happens with this strategy, because it's pretty much wide open. I mean, let's just while we're going on the formation lap, let's see if we can get this right this time. There we go. Yep. So there you go, guys. Up on screen is your tyre strategy that everyone's chosen. So from the front, obviously P1 to P10, that's what they qualified on. As you can see that. So going from Humberstone backwards, they've chosen Humberstone hards, Estimats hards, Tankanana 3 and Colin J on mediums and hards. We've got Matty, Captain Stiff, RG and Sab on hards. Then at the back we've got Game and Amonda and Ike's Fun on the mediums. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, the most important for the top 3 is obviously to break away instantly. So let's see if that's going to happen. And then I'll let the 5 red lights to you, mate.
Oh, thank you very much, mate. So, as we are just lined up, we've got the green flag waving in the background, which means all racers are lined up and raring to go. The engines, you will hear them fire up in just a second as we start to see the lights. And we got 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4. Bit of a pause there. We got 5 lights and away they go. So an absolute fantastic start from Tony Y there. He's really gone for it. Nick J. Thompson just nipping at his heels. And we've also got Mr. Steen. As Mr. Steen is getting pressured by Aaron J already at turn 2. Oh, we got contact.
Oh.
We got contact with Mr. Steen and Lozak. Oh no, we've got contact.
Oh, look how busy it is right there. Oh no.
And Nick J's round and round. Unfortunate from the guys there. Absolute, not what we want to see at all.
Oh,
we got
even more crashes in the background. Sab and RG as well. I was just going to say, quite a clean start from everyone, but then he all broke loose.
Yeah,
and a lot of carnage.
Very unfortunate. I think Mr. Steen making contact there, but he does retain P3 position at the moment. The 2 Racing Point Force Indias in P4 and P5, very close together. We've got them chasing down Mr. Steen, who's in P3. Look at him, Aaron J's breaking away, and then Aaron J's looking at the back of Tony, who's already round the last sector. Unbelievable. So Tony Wise making an enormous getaway. Let's just put the tyre strategy on, just to make sure everyone's aware of that. There you go, guys. So already Nick down in P19, not what we wanted to see. Nick's already made a change. I imagine he's got the medium tyre. We'll soon see. So
this is exactly what Tony wanted.
It is.
The gap in the beginning, he'll have to keep this gap, and then he can keep those guys out of the DRS and hopefully break away for him. For him.
It closes into his hands, mate, because he's got clean air. He doesn't have to defend. So this could be Tony Y's turning point of the race. Just getting away clean. Oh, as we see Lozak go on the inside. Oh, a little bit of a touch there with Mr. Steen, just side by side. He does make it. He'll cut the corner turn 7. Comes to turn 8. Is Mr. Steen going to let him go through? Yes, he thinks better of it. So Mr. Steen is on the soft tyre. Lozak is pushing on those mediums. Now, whereas Mr. Steen on the soft, he will be quicker, but do you fight Lozak on the soft tyre? If Mr. Steen pushes on those soft tyres, they're going to overheat. So what would you do, mate? Would you let him go and just calm down, or would you fight this?
He could obviously try, because this lap he will get the DRS, I believe. So he could just try and maybe stay behind for a few laps, save the DRS, and then go by. And break away, or instantly do it now, because you don't want to get into a fight, as you said. That could be mortal.
Yeah, I mean, we're just on board with TB2 now, all over the back of Mr. Steen. I mean, we can see he's lining up. He's got DRS now. We're riding on board just to see these drivers' view. Is he going to go to the right or left? He goes to the left. Strange. Let's see if he can do it.
Oh, brakes very late. And
Brilliant
gets
move.
the corner.
Brilliant move, I think, mate. To be honest with
Certainly
you.
being on the medium tire. Wow, he seems to have even more grip than Steenland there.
Absolutely fantastic. But we've just seen Tanker 903 get in front of MJ Coupe. MJ Coupe goes back in around the outside. Fantastic move from MJ Coupe there. He got overtaken, but as we flick back, we saw MJ Coupe just go long on the braking on the inside line and just get way in front of Tanker 903 there. So we saw a bit of switching and swatching there from these two, but MJ Coupe came out on top. It looks like it might have been a mistake from Tanker. I don't know what you think of that, mate, but MJ Coupe did get overtaken, but he quickly got that position back. So maybe a lock-up from Tanker, we don't know. Mr. Steen, 3 time penalty. So that's the first of the penalties coming from Mr. Steen. Looking down the orders.
So a little bit of a fight going on now between Lozak and Aaron, I believe. Aaron who's trying to hunt down Tony, but it's going to be difficult because now Lozak is right in his gearbox. DRS wide open. And is he going to go for this move? Very feisty in this race. Yeah, goes to the inside. No, just can't.
See, I'm just looking as well. While we're watching this battle, Warris, we've also got Sab. I know he's P12, but we've got Sab. I've gone to this battle that you were talking about, Warris, but we've also got Sab. I was just about to say we've got Sab on the back of Matty, and he's done it. We saw on the table. We didn't see on the stream because I'm not following it. I'm following this battle up front. But yeah, Sab was all over the back of Matty. It was inevitable, and he made that. They made that move stick, and he got it done, mate. So Sab is on the charge on those hard tyres, buddy.
Yeah, I think he is, and as I said, this could be quite a good strategy on those hards. He's just staying with the pack, it seems, right now. So maybe later see him even higher up. As Miss 16 is retired right now. Oh, what a shame.
Oh, no. So we've seen an incident. So that's Sector 3. At the end of the lap, Steen's obviously had an incident there. Sab's now up into points positions in P10. So fair play from Sab. So Warriors, you could be very much right with this hard tyre strategy. That's opened up Sab and the likes of Captain Stiff for the stronger, or sort of say the harder strategy here.
Yeah, it does. And meanwhile at the front, as the fight is still going on between Lozak and Aaron, they're also gaining on Tony, whose tyres are... Really
Warris, sorry, Warris. Captain Stiff's had an issue. He's not got any part of his right wing. He's gone off somewhere. He's got no right wing plate at all. He's going to have to pit on the hards. He's going to have to do a 2-stop, mate. That's a 2-stop. What do you think?
Yeah, it is. It's exactly the same issue as I had on the Monday. Exactly the same front wing. So he'll probably go onto the mediums right now, and then at the end of the race, again onto the mediums.
So
and I'm just looking at Sab. He's got a bit of front wing damage as well.
Oh no! So the hard tyres obviously not grippy enough. They're getting a bit of slidey there, taking a bit of the wings off. But we're just on board, wise as we're. Okay, we've got Tony White pitting. Tony's pitting early. Wow, he's pitting early.
That's too early. Yeah, he's going onto the hards, but
he's got damage then. He must have damage, mate. Unless he's gone too hard on that first lap. We did say he was opening up that lead, mate. He was going hard on those tyres.
He's going on to the medium, so that's a 2-stopper for Tony.
That's a 2-stop, right. So, Lozak chasing down Aaron J. Mediums. He's less than 2 tenths now. He's gone to the left. He's going to go around the outside. Late breakers. Who's going to win? Lozak goes wide.
Goes on the
he's got it, though. He's got it. I think he's got it.
Still side by side.
Oh, no, Lozak has got it. He made the move stick. It took him 2 corners. But what's going to happen? He's going to go on the inside, is Aaron J. Not pushing it, but he's going to get a better drive, Aaron J. Can he do it? Picks up the slipstream. Another tricky corner coming up here. You've got to feather that throttle, get back on the power.
So quick around there.
It is a quick, if you get it right, it's super quick, and he's nipping at his heels. He's chewing on that gearbox. Seriously chomping down on that gearbox. He's loving that. He's loving the taste of that gearbox oil.
Yeah, I think he's just saving everything he can now to let it loose onto these straights. And tries to get close again. Obviously, he's within the DRS. Kind of cuts that turn 1.
And very
now
nicely,
it's all
though.
about the exit. Now it's all about the exit for him.
So he just seems to be biding his time here, going with this twisty section. I mean, you don't want to be on the back of him. you're going to lose downforce. But let's see what happens when he comes to like turn 6 and 7, because I think that's where he's going to do it. He moves to the right. Not quite there. This is a brilliant battle between these two.
And Lozak certainly wants to maybe, if he just doesn't have the pace, we want to hold up Aaron, because his teammate TB is also coming closer and closer, and he can join the fight as well, maybe.
Yeah.
In the future.
I mean, looking at Tanker, Tanker's not far behind MJ Cooper. In fact, let's just put on for our viewers the position change, because it'd be interesting to see. Look at that. Look at that. So we've got Lozak, Aaron J and TB2 all up 3 positions. You've got the likes of MJ Cooper up 6. Tanker Nano 3 on 8 positions. Estimat's up 6 positions. These guys at the front have seriously made some positions up.
Yeah, that's all down to the carnage into turn 2, I guess, because there were a lot of losers, but also a lot of winners down there.
Yeah, but I mean, I know what you're saying, Warris, but let's put it this way: you can't take it away from them. You know, they stayed clean. No. You know, they stayed clean. They chose the right lines right. I know exactly what you're saying, but I think it's worthwhile saying that these guys up front have done it right. You know, they've kept it clean. They've stayed out of trouble. I'm not saying the guys that had issues before were to blame, but you know, it always pays off to stay clean, back off out of a situation. You know, and it looks like these guys have obviously done that.
Yeah, just these are the guys that are thinking about lap 34, and maybe some of the guys in the beginning were only thinking about lap 1, and that's the difference.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
Now.
So just going to flick on the leader times. There you go, guys. For anyone watching live, that's your leader times. I'll just quickly flick on who's stopped. There you go, guys. So Humberstone all the way back to Captain Stiff has stopped. Tony Y in the front runners, he's already stopped in P7, but everyone else still yet to stop.
So no one on the soft tire now anymore. Everyone's on the harder strategy now, it seems. So yeah, I think only Tony is on the 2-stop, and Captain Stiff should be as well. Yeah, as the Spyro Freaks, the guys who lost out in the beginning.
Oh, Aaron J, Warris. Aaron J's all over the back of Lozak.
That is so close.
He's all over. Let's go on board while we go around turn 7. Round turn 7, approaching turn 8, heavy braking zone. Who's going to go tight? They both go tight, but I think Aaron J went a little bit tighter. He'll get better drive out of this corner. Looks like Lozak's got better battery. Let's just quickly have a look at that. No, he's not. He's not half battery. So, interesting stuff there from Lozak. It looked like he got a big drive. But, yeah, Aaron J's coming back at him. Do you think we're going to see an overtaking to turn 2 here, Warris? Do you think he'll be close enough?
I think he is going to wait to turn 3. Because then, as we were talking about... as he's picking up a penalty. Oh no, what a shame.
Oh, Aaron J picking up a penalty, right, okay. Well, but yeah, just thinking ahead, Warris, let's, we won't track penalties until maybe track lap 25, do you think? We'll start thinking about penalties then?
Yeah, I'll just, once we've had all stops, I'll just look at the penalties, and then we can see how...
oh, Aaron J moving right. Oh, he's going on the outside.
Switchback maybe?
No, not quite.
Just isn't able to do it.
Super close that though, super close. But he's right on him though. He's all over him. He's all over his gearbox. He's going to go tighter this time. Gets the drive. He's got it this time. Aaron J got a great drive then. But Lozak again pulling out in the second part of the acceleration phase.
Yeah, but as I was mentioning before, once you're behind someone and you're in the slipstream, you can really save ERS, and as we can see, Aaron has got a lot more ERS than Lozak, so he's going to be able to pressure him even more now.
I don't think it's a question of will he pass. I think it's a question of when will he pass.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He could also just be saving ERS now and saving maybe tires, saving fuel a bit to go past them maybe only in the second stint.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's around 50%. Yeah, 50% battery life. Lozak is about 35. So yeah, you could be right there, mate. He's saving it. He's definitely saving it. You could very well be right there, Warris. Sorry, my apologies, guys. There you go. Just on board with R&J now. Chasing after Lozak, last week's winner. So Lozak's going to want to keep this momentum and stay in front of R&J. Just these two, it's pretty much a copy of last week. You know, these two chasing after each other. Lozak was P1, R&J was P2. The only difference is his teammate Colin J in P10, not having the best, but he did start on those hards.
Yeah, so don't count him out yet.
So could Colin J be coming back on those mediums later on? Because these guys were going on hards. Colin J could very well be back up there.
Because the best guy on at this moment on hards is Estimates, only 13 seconds from the lead. And he is going to the mediums at the end of the race, so let's keep an eye on him as well.
Yeah.
It will be very interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, we did mention Estimates earlier, didn't we? I think he was down in P9. We said he was going to come through, but breaking off from that, we're just seeing again R&J lining up behind Lozak. Is he going to get this line right this time? He's going to go deeper. Yeah. Different lines again from both these drivers. As we were saying in the hot laps, Juarez, that corner, everyone takes a different line through there. That's what I was saying to you in the hot laps. How do you take it? You know, every driver takes that corner different. It's really amazing. It's a strange corner.
It's like everything we talked about and said and expected in hot laps it seems to just come out right now.
But
We're
maybe
experts of this sport.
But maybe that's just our experience and our knowledge, our sheer knowledge of I'm flapping our gills, mate. But yeah, so fantastic race so far. Just looking down the order, we have got this front battle, but looking down, we have got the likes of Estimates that you mentioned. He's nipping at the heels of Tanker. Now they're on the same amount of laps, but Estimates is gaining on those hards. It's coming down and down, and ever so slightly. He's coming down and down, so I'm gonna switch to Estimates and just ride on board with Estimates just for a short while to see what he can do. Because he does look like he's been doing really well on those hard tyres. Now, obviously, the medium tyres are sort of like coming to the point where you start feeling the degradation and the wear starts taking a toll on the traction. So this is a point where the Estimates might actually be. Well, there you go. 3/10 in 5 corners, Warris.
Yeah, it really seems like he's got the upper hand on Tanker. Those tires might have come off, and of course the wear is a lot better on those. So we could see an overtake already on 14.
I know. But
wow, we've got the leaders pitting right now.
Wow. So
Lozak
pitted
and
R&J's in.
Just reacting. Yeah,
right,
because he just didn't want Lozak to do the undercut probably. Oh, wow. Now that it's down to the pit crews, let's see. Lozak's come out and Aaron is behind now.
So there you go, that's TB.
It's very early. I'll tell you what, it's very early to go already on the hard tires right now. But yeah, of
I
course
agree, mate. That's 20 laps,
1 and 2,
mate.
so Aaron, once Lozak came in, Aaron didn't really have a choice because it would be the undercut otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a good battle now though, because the mid-pack have been forced to the front. We've got TB2 leading by 7 seconds. We've got MJ Coupe, followed by Tanker, less than half a second. Then we've got Estimates, then Tony Y, all in a train. And then slightly behind Tony Y, we've got Lozak, who's come out on fresh tyres. So Lozak himself is pitted and can see this front pack. It's rather strange, but Tony Y is going to go much longer. He had to pit early, did Tony Y, because we saw he started on the softs. Now let's just talk about Tony Y. What's Tony Y going to do? He's going to do another, I'd say, 8 laps, because he's on less fuel. He's going to do another 8 laps, then go on to soft. Do you reckon?
Yeah, 8-9 laps, and I think it's going to... You'll have to do at least 9 laps to go into the softs.
Yeah, so 11 laps on softs. I wouldn't count him out. Put it that way, mate. I wouldn't count him out at all.
Yeah, it's very hard to stay that long on the soft or on the medium tires. So you'll have to do a lot of tire conserving. Maybe try and stay behind estimates right now in the DRS. Save his tires, save some fuel, save some battery.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a difficult one for him. As he will try to do the move, he's not going to save anything, and there's a little bit of tire banging. He come out side to side on the hairpin, and estimates will have the inside to.
He's got it. Yeah.
No,
he's going to cover off now. Yeah. So I'm almost inclined to disagree with you, Warris. I actually think Tony White could be in with a good strategy here, because we saw him stop early after making such an outrageous lead on those softs. He's on the mediums and done 9 laps. Now normally, if you start on mediums, you would expect 14, 15 laps with heavy fuel loads, but you already shedded 4 or 5 laps of fuel. I reckon he could do another 8 laps on these and then go on to softs. I really do, mate.
Yeah, obviously he could try, but you must not forget that Lozak is only 4 tenths behind him.
Yeah.
Wait. No.
I mean, I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking that away from him.
Like 1.5 seconds, so he'll lose another 20 seconds. So.
Oh, we just saw Lozak get past Estimats in the background there. So yeah, Lozak on fresh tyres against Estimats 15-lap-old tyres. That was inevitable, but Estimats with the wing open. He takes him back. He takes him back. Yeah, he takes him back. And he's well within his rights to do that. They are racing for position. It's not a blue flag situation. These guys are racing for position.
Yeah, obviously, but you must think, of course it can also lose you sometime with fighting, but yeah, he had the DRS, he had the overspeed, so there was no point in staying behind, I guess, in that situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so either, yeah. So looking down, we're going to go to Sab. Let's quickly go to Sab, because Sab is on 15-lap-old tyres, chasing down Tanker 903 on 1-lap-old hard tyres, but he's on the back of his gearbox. This is outrageous. What's Sab doing? He's really pushing. Obviously, Tanker's on cold, hard tyres. Sab's are very warm and almost at the end of their life, but it looks like Sab's really keeping track of Tanker's times here. He's dropped back a little bit now, but yeah, maybe he just had a great corner or...
And sorry to interrupt you, but Lozak has just pushed up Estimats a bit.
I'll just switch to it,
come very close now. So all this fighting certainly didn't help Lozak, and Aaron is on his back. Oh, tries to make a move around the outside. No, just can't make it stick.
So we've got a train here. We've got Lozak, Aaron J and Estimats. Estimats, for some reason, sticking with these guys. Maybe he's getting towed along by them, but he's on 16-lap-old tyres. Estimats will have to come in. Estimats, obviously, he started on the hards. He's looking good for a one-stop onto the mediums. We did say this in hot laps. We did say, will some people try and do hards to mediums and be faster later on the softer compound tyres? So, do you think Estimats has called it right here?
It's a bit difficult to say, but I think he will have a very good pace near the end of the race. Maybe can even pick up a point for fastest lap. Where did he wait? Let's see. Where did he start?
So I put the leaders up now. Estimats in P4. If you had 20 seconds, that's 23 seconds. He'll come out in front of Ferocious Dan. If he does it right, or Colin J's got a pit as well. And so has Humberstone, and so has Sab. So he'd come out in P8. If Estimats pitted now for fresh mediums, I think he'd come out in P8.
Oh, that's right. By the way, there is a proper fight for effective P1 right now, side by side. Aaron just can't make a stick. Lozak goes a bit wide, maybe on this exit.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Morris, but it's not P1 because Tony White's got a pit soon.
Yeah,
Tony
I mean the effective
oh, yeah,
P1.
I know what you mean, yeah. I mean, Tony White's got a pit soon. I I really think Estimats is in with a chance with a really good point scoring situation here. I really do. Because
because he started P12. Don't forget that.
Oh, I know, but you put let's call it 21 seconds. The leader, you got 21 seconds to Estimats 4 seconds. That's got 25 seconds. That will definitely bring him out in P10. But then Colin Jay's got to pit. So has Sab and so has Humberstone. So he'll be out in P8, mate. Estimats will get P8 on fresh tyres when everyone else... I think he's in with a really good shot of coming maybe P5 in this race, mate. I really do.
Yeah. And Aaron Jay goes to the inside of Lozak. Side by side through there.
Just watched it, mate. Yeah, just watched it.
He just never can make it stick. Very good defending from Lozak. Very late braking. And but I really gotta compliment Estimats because he started P12 and he's gunning for like a P6, P5 position in the end. So as we've spoken about, the hard to medium seems to be quite a good strategy. Captain Stiff picks up 3 seconds right now. Yeah, his race just doesn't go as he would have wanted, I guess. I mean, we've seen some serious strategy calls here. We've seen soft tyre starters, which we never envisaged happening. We never predicted that would happen. We literally thought everybody would start on... In fact, it was opposite with what I thought. I thought the soft tyre starters would be at the back of the pack, but it wasn't. It was the guys at the front starting on soft, so that threw me straight away, Warris. Yeah, that was very brave of those guys, and as our Paul Sater comes in now and goes on to the mediums, so he just wasn't able to stretch that. Bit of a shame. Still though, those new mediums should give him quite a good pace, and he'll be able to fight the guys in front.
So fantastic stuff, absolutely outrageous strategies. We're still on with Aaron J chasing down Lozak. They're on equal tyres now. This is the battle for the win. I really think it is. They've only got 14 laps to go, which means they will have done 20 laps on the hard tyres. Very much their life expectancy. So these two going hammer and tongue. Is it going to be a mirror image of round 1, the Hungaro ring? Is it going to be Lozak Aaron J, or is it going to be Aaron J Lozak? We've just got Colin J, who was in P3 last race. Is he gonna push up to these guys on those fresh mediums?
Well, the gap is quite big, so that would be the most impressive stint on the medium tires I would have ever seen if he can manage to get up to P3. But I guess his pace just isn't quite what it was last week compared to these guys. They are like...
Well, you think about this, Loris. You got Humberstone who's pitting. Humberstone's pitting. That's one position.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
can he
he's
finally
doing it.
Make it stick right now?
Oh, brilliant.
Still side by side. Those guys have been side by side more than they've been behind each other. Looks like we have the inside right now. And a little bit of touching. Switch back from Aaron. He's just so good at defending today, Lozak.
He is, isn't he? Brilliant. Brilliant battle. Comes to this tricky last twisty turny section. Coming through in turns 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. Very tricky corner, especially on hard tyres. They've done 7 laps. They should be warm enough to be sticky. So we're going to see Aaron J just pick up the slipstream. He's going to get DRS. As we come around turn 1, there you go. DRS activation zone opens up. It's only a short straight though into the heavy braking zone of turn 2. On board with Aaron J from the driver's point of view, chasing down Lozak. Face full of fumes in the dirty air. As we come round the sweeping bend, DRS will open up again. He's going to move right. Oh, he does. He moves right, gets the inside line. And he makes it stick. But is Lozak going to come back at him on the inside?
Switch back.
It's the switcheroo. It's the switcheroo. What's going to happen now? Coming down to the hairpin.
Now he's got the inside. This should be it for Aaron. Late braking.
Wow.
And he's got it now, I guess.
These two absolute formidable drivers. Hammer and tongue together.
Ah, what a fight. And
I
now,
think these...
I'm just going to check up with the penalties. Aaron has got... So Aaron's got 1 penalty with 2 warnings. Lozak's got 1 penalty too. So these guys are
even.
Absolutely equal at this point.
Even Stevens on the penalty front there for Aaron and Lozak. As we're on board with the Lozak, he's got DRS. He opens up, turn 1, cuts the corner, gets a nice drive there. He's going to get him here. He's a brilliant drive out of turn 1. Not quite there in turn 2, but he's all over the back of him. Let's just go back to driver view. These two are going hammer and tong. This absolute fantastic battle for these two. DRS opens up once again.
This is a fantastic fight, but it seems like just not enough for Lozak right now. And you have to stick behind.
But saying that though, I mean, Lozak was leading for a while, so his tyres would have been very warm. So it might be a nice break for Lozak to not have to defend.
Was very close right now. Yeah, and probably he can start saving some ERS now as well.
Yeah.
As Tony's moved up to P4 side by side with Coop. Coop's got the inside to the next turn. And now Tony switches around the outside. Ah, goes a little bit wide. Yeah, he's got it. So Tony, 11 seconds from the podium now, but on new mediums. Do you think he can get it?
Yeah, I reckon so, mate. Yeah. We've only got 11 laps to go. That makes it 14 laps on mediums on a light fuel load. That is more than achievable, in my opinion.
Well, 11 laps to go. So that should be a second a lap.
A second a lap. It could be possible, mate. Let's just see. In fact, let's
go about the difference.
Let's go on board with Tony Y, and we'll see what he's doing. In fact, let's put. I'm trying to think how we can do this. Yeah, let's do intervals there. So Tony Y is 10.9. Let's see what he does at the end of this.
So next lap he should be on 9.9.
Yeah, in sector 2, let's call it.
Yeah.
So by sector 2 he should be 9.9 if he's on track to get a P3. Be interested to see that. I'm really intrigued to see what he can do here. I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't think he's making way, do you? I don't think he's making...
All right,
it's coming down. It is coming down.
Now it's coming down out of nowhere, quite quickly.
Nah, do you know what? I don't think it's got it. He's not quite fast enough, I don't think. He's coming down. He's only at the end of the lap and he's 10.3, so by the end of the sector 2 he could be very well a second, so...
Aaron and Lozak very close again. These guys are so even. They're even on ERS as well.
Oh, he goes the inside line. Lozak goes inside line. He's going to get it. Lozak's back in the lead, I think. Yeah,
switch back from Aaron. Switch back. Yeah, now Aaron does the same trick. He does the same as Lozak did every lap. Incredible fighting from these guys. So Aaron's got 57% of ERS, and Lozak's got 60, so they're almost even on that as well. This fight could go on to the end.
Yeah, I think it could, mate. It really could. I mean, they're on equal tyres. It's who can manage those tyres the better. It really is. I mean, going back to that previous discussion, Tony Y, he's in sector 3 and he's not 9.9, so he's not making that 1 second gap at all, mate. So Tony Y, unless these guys drop off at the end massively, I don't think Tony Y is going to manage to get that podium. However, as we are all aware, F2 racers love getting penalties, Warriors, don't they?
Yeah, but I just checked the race director and TB has only got 1 warning. Tony's got 1 penalty, so he's actually 13 seconds behind.
Ah, there you go then.
Which makes it very difficult for him to get this.
There you go. The penalty's already taking hold. Although I must admit, to our F2 family, they've not got that many penalties. You know, our F2 league, they love getting penalties, but today we've not seen that many, which is quite surprising. It's quite surprising. It really is.
As Lozak is made the move now for P1 again. Let's see if he can break away now. I find it hard to believe if he can, because I think Aaron is just going to do the same trick as he did, save some ERS and get back to him at the end of the race maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this all plays down to who's looking after the tyres the most. I mean, they're both attacking and defending, but who's the better at managing the tyres? I think that's what's going to come down to. I really do.
Yeah, and it's also ERS and DRS is so important around here. If I were Aaron J, and I don't know what he's thinking now, obviously, but if he knows he's got the better pace, I would stay behind him, save ERS up to like 33 and go past then, because there's no need for going past earlier, because he can just keep his tires better, keep his ERS better, keep his fuel better if he just stays behind.
Oh, he's making a move. He's making a move.
Do that because he goes for the move.
Oh, they touched slightly.
On the
Lozak's going to get on the inside line though to turn 8. He's going to get it. He's on the inside line. So I'm not turn 8, turn 7 on the outside.
Oh.
This is turn 8. And he's got it. Turn 8. There we go. He gets it done. Wow. Fantastic from these guys. Estimats has retired for some reason. Not sure what that is. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Yeah, it could be Estimats in sector 3 that's caused that yellow flag. So unbelievable from these guys. As we're seeing now, this is the closing stage of this race. We're in the last over the last third of this race. We've only got 6 laps to go.
Oh no, Aaron picks up a penalty.
Oh no, Aaron picks up a penalty. So that promotes Lozak up into P1. So that will force Aaron J to try and push on, or will he try and make Lozak work for it and hope he has a mistake? What do you think, Maurice? What do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll just stick with him and try and make a mistake out of him, or what?
This must be a massive... Yeah. This must be devastating to Aaron, because the only thing he can do now is just keep him behind and hope he'll pick up a penalty, but... Oh, wow.
See, the two Racing Point Force Indias, P2, P3 here.
Yeah, and if it stays like this, because TB has got no penalties, Aaron could even drop to P3.
Yeah, because very much
TB
so, mate.
is behind 2.5 seconds now. So at this point, Aaron is effective P3.
Yeah, and do you know what? Looking at the constructors, the Racing Points are sat in P2. If they manage to get a P1, P2, they'd almost certainly be catapulted up into P1 position, the constructors. And in the drivers, just looking at Lozak's already P1, so he would extend his lead, but they're not far behind him. Just looking down if I can find him. TB, who didn't finish last week, would get all the way up into about a P7 position. So, wow. That could throw it all open in contention already this early in the season. That could be fantastic for them.
Yeah, certainly. And also with Colin not scoring too much points, they will get quite a big lead already.
I'm going to briefly go to RG, by the way. I think he's going to make a move on Sab. Sab's on medium tyres. He's on the better tyre, but Sab's closing. RG's closing. Just keeping an eye on our top runners. I'm going to have to go back, actually. Sorry, guys, because Lozak is on the back of RNG.
You just can't keep your eyes off this fight, because it's...
I know.
it's so good.
He's brilliant. These guys have been hammer and tong for a good 10 laps now. I don't think we've ever seen a battle like this in esports since Senna and Prost in real life.
As they almost touched. I think that was a bit too deep from Lozak. He didn't really want to go that deep. He had to lock up and take avoiding action, because he almost touched the back of Aaron.
He's gaining. He's going to go inside. Don't do the... I thought he was going to go for the dive there, but he didn't do it.
But I think at this point what's happening, and I'm not quite sure, it could be that Lozak knows Aaron picked up a penalty and that is just going to stick behind him until the end of the race, because...
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
just chill out, not take any risks, because of course Aaron, as soon as Lozak will get alongside, there's a chance that Aaron thinks, okay, I'm just going to squeeze you off. I'm just going to squeeze you off a little in the hope that he gets a penalty. So maybe it'd be smart from Lozak to just stay behind.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean,
and let TB catch up, because then he can get a P1 and P2.
I mean, the only downside to that is in the dirty week of the air, especially in the last sector, in turns 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, the lack of downforce could make a mistake for Lozak. We don't want that, and I hate saying stuff like that. The commentator's curse always bites us in the rear end. So, I mean, I don't know if you saw the season before you started. I had the biggest bite of commentator's curse with Nick on the last race of the season. Oh, as we see, Lozak goes in front. He gets in front. He's got the inside line now. He does. He takes it. Yeah. But is Aaron going to come back at him? No, I think he's got it done.
No.
But yeah, the first season that I started with Invictus, I mentioned about Nick trying to get the constructors. And I went, the only way they can lose it is if he spins off. And as I said it, he span off. So I don't think Nick's
he's still mad about it.
Yeah, I don't think Nick's ever forgiven me for that, for losing the constructors for him. So I'm always very nervous about what ifs and what coulds and what shoulds, because the commentator's curse is a real risk. It really is.
Yeah, and as Lozak is now in front, I don't know if they've got a communication in the party or something, but if they have, and they're smart, Lozak is just going to hold up Aaron now, so TB can get close. That would be smart.
Oh, totally. Yeah, of course. Super interesting. I mean, I'm so gutted that Estimats hasn't finished, because he was on for a really good finish there. We've only lost 3 races from this race, which, to be honest with you, I think he's brilliant. You know, as we see, we've got a bit of a touch there.
No damage? Nah, there's
I don't think so. No damage. No damage. Oh, they're so close again. He goes for it on the inside.
Even more contact.
Oh, wow. These guys, hell for leather, Senna and Prost, Style. Absolute brilliant from these two all race. I mean, this has literally been, I reckon, 18 laps, almost 18 laps of pure racing from these two. We've never really come away from this, and I apologise to all the other racers in the league, but how the hell could we come away from this race? We just can't do it. You know, I've tried to watch other people, but Warris, how could we come away from this race? These two racing, we can't, can we?
I don't think there's been a moment in this race where they weren't within 5/10 of each other. So they've been so close all race long, and this could be the story of this season.
It could.
Because I mean, their pace is wow.
I mean, looking down the interval times there, you've not really got anyone anywhere near as close as these two have been. As he moves to the inside, and he gets it. He's going to keep it. These two again switching positions. It's like Nico Rosberg and Hamilton in 2016. They're changing positions every couple of corners. Absolutely fantastic from these two.
This is one of the most...
This is epic.
Can you remember in the beginning of the race when I said there could be 2 guys who just go to switch around every lap to maybe...
and this is it. This is it.
This is everything you would want from a race. We don't even need rain, Dan.
No, we don't. Do you know what? I stand corrected, Warris. You've actually got me there, mate. I stand corrected. These two have created... I would argue this has been one of the battles that will go down in Invictus history, because this has been non-stop, absolute non-stop for 18 laps. Absolutely fantastic. This is going to go down in history. It really is.
And the most quiet guy in all of this is TB, who's potentially going to pick up...
RG for P10. RG's in the background. We're watching this battle, but I've just watched on the line. RG's got P10 from Galen Alamonda. Warriors, while we're just... in fact, no, don't check the penalties. Let's just stay on board with these two. Because this is amazing. Who cares about penalties? Let's just watch the action. We'll watch this to the end. These two, who's going to get it? Because, I mean, is it Aaron J that's got the penalty, Warris?
Yeah, Aaron's got the penalty. But I'm just checking who's got the quickest lap time for the extra point right now.
Fastest lap is Matty in P15.
Okay, so he won't get that extra point then because
no, he won't. No.
In the top 10, so that's a shame. As the sun is beginning to break through again.
As we come across the line, Warris. We're coming across the line on lap 34. Lozak finishes first, but then Aaron J comes in P2. Will TB take P2 position? He does! He's a 1-2 for the Racing Point Force Indias. Oh, the penalties play the part.
I'm just going to applaud for this race, man. This is one of the best things I've ever
fantastic. Seen. Tony White takes P4. MJ Coop, absolute fantastic race from him. Let's just put in the position change. As I see, MJ Coop's up 5 positions in P5. Tanker 903 up 2 position P6. Ferocious down up 2 positions in P6. Tanker 903 up 6 positions in P7. Humberstone up 3 positions in P8. Colin J up 5 positions in P9. In the last position, will RG take it? Will he keep it on penalties? No, he doesn't. Kevin Alamonde gets the last position. 4 points in P10. Delange P11. RG drops down to P12. Sab up 5 positions in P13. Wow, what a race we had there. What do you want to say about that, Warris? Those guys.
I'm speechless, mate.
Yeah, so am I, mate. That was an absolute epic battle. I don't know what to say, mate. I really don't know what to say. I mean, that battle for pretty much solid 18 laps. Solid 18 laps, and they were...
Almost the entire race, mate. It was before the pit stops as well.
So, yeah, I mean, while I run down, do you want to invite our media representative to get the guys in? So there you go, guys. Absolute ferocious battle between Lozak and Aaron J. But winning the session is Lozak, taking up the P2 position in the same car as the Racing Point Force India in TB2. We've got Aaron J in P3, 21 in P4, MJ in P5. We've got Ferocious down in P6, Tanker 903 in P7, Humberstone in P8, Colin J P9, Gavin Lagamonda in P10. And in the last of the non-scoring point positions, we've got Delange 11, RG 12, Sab in 13, Nick in 14, Matty in 15, Captain Stiff 16, Biofreak in 17, ST Mats in 18, Ike's Fun in 19, and in the wooden spoon position in P20 is Mr. Steen. Now, I don't know about you guys that are watching live or anyone that's watching back post-live session. Absolute ferocious battle between the P1 and P3 position of Lozak and Aaron J. Absolute fantastic. It was almost Senna Prost, it really was. I think we're going to see a lot more of that this season, and I welcome that totally. Can't wait for that. I really can't. Oh, so I've got to catch my breath there, guys, because that was sensational for us. It really was. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know what to think at all about that. Absolute fantastic stuff. So just bear with us, guys, while we get our media representative to try and get our drivers up to the paddock for the interviews. These guys are celebrating, so it's really hard to get these guys up into the paddock. We'll try and steal him away from the cameras. We'll try and steal him away from the media guys. They're going to be all eyes. But Aaron J, I think he's been called away by his managers. So we can't get Aaron J, unfortunately. But hopefully we can get our other 2 podium finishers. We'll soon see, guys.
Lozak's been invited now. Let's see what about TB.
I don't know what to say about that race, guys. It was absolutely ferocious. I mean, watching Lozak and Aaron J battle for 18 laps was absolute fantastic. But obviously TB kept it cleaner. He took that P2 position without getting penalties, so absolute fair play to TB. Tony Y, absolutely brilliant from Tony Y. I mean, Tony Y did start P1, so you can't. He did start on soft, so we understand that Tony Y would kind of succumb to the strategies by starting on softs. We saw Mr. Steen drop all the way down. He didn't finish the race, unfortunately, but we kind of called it with the soft tyres where they were. So, Warris, have we got our drivers in the interview box at all?
So I believe Lozak's joined us, our race winner, and I hope his teammate will come soon after. But well, Lozak, at first I just want to thank you for this race because it was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, cheers.
So Lozak,
energy Dan, I'll let it to you.
Cheers, buddy. So Lozak, that's 2 from 2, my man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this race was very difficult, more difficult than the last one because I was always on pressure from Aaron and also TB, who has no penalty, so I had soon a free second, and then it was all management at turn 1 to don't run wide, to got some other warnings, so it was very fun battling with Aaron and of course winning my second race.
Yeah, I mean Lozak, we pretty much stayed with you and Aaron the entire race. After the first pit stops, I don't think we ever really came away from you. We tried to get some other battles that were happening behind you, but I think yourself and Aaron. Do you think Aaron is going to be your biggest title contender this season?
Yeah, I think because it has been consistent from these 2 tracks, so and I'm a bit scared because this was my best 2 tracks, so the other is gonna be very difficult because, for example, Silverstone really hate this track, so it will be very difficult next week. So.
Lozak, if you hate this track, I hate to see your pace on a track you like, my friend.
Yeah. But TB was very good because it has been so clean, and I was constantly checking the gap because if he could manage to get in the 3 seconds, he will probably win the race. So yeah, it's very pressured this night.
Yeah, can I just ask you because we forgot about that because TB didn't have a penalty. You had 3 seconds, and at the end Aaron had 6 seconds. So I was saying, and I was wrong. I was saying at the end, so maybe Lozak just wants to stick behind, and then he can just win the race on penalties. But obviously you had to overtake Aaron to walk away and not get or not give TB the win. So you were in massive pressure in the end then.
Yeah, the last 5 laps, this is bad situation where I couldn't get in front of Aaron, but at the same time, TB was really being consistent, so it was like 2.5 seconds behind me, so I can't pass Aaron, and I was a bit scared that this battle is been very fun, but lost very much time in that. So.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that would have been something if TB would have won in the end by just sticking with you. And Dan, what do you think about that?
Mate, I was trying to get a hold of the penalties towards the end, and we didn't fully understand the penalties.
We didn't even think about that.
No, we didn't. So it's a big shock to us. But I mean, moving on from that, Warris, I just want to talk about the constructors. I mean, Racing Point Force India's are pretty much going to be up there now. I mean, Lozak, are you guys talking together for the constructors, or are you not really communicating with that? That's what I want to ask you. Are you going for drivers and constructors, or are you concentrating just on drivers?
Well, I didn't speak much with TB, but yeah, I think that he's a really good driver, and maybe at my same level. So if we can drive good all races and not fuck up sometimes, it will be a very good chance to win also the constructors. But for the drivers, we are on our own. So
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, if you guys communicate well enough in terms of planning strategy, planning when you pit, because there's going to be races this season that you may end up pitting or want to pit the same lap. So I personally think, with you two as forceful as you are, if you two communicate well together, you could very well get the constructors and still battle for the drivers together. So I think that's something, from my opinion, you should take from this and maybe get with your teammate. Because if you team up together, you could very well get the constructors and still have the fight for the drivers at the end. So this could be a very interesting season for you two. Whether you guys want to communicate or not, that is entirely up to you. But I personally think it would be amazing for this competition if you guys got together and started communicating. I really do. But obviously that is up to you. It's the teams that decide that, the drivers that decide that. I'll leave it with you, my friend. But Waris, unless you've got any other questions for our race winner, anything else, mate?
Yeah, I'll just say to Lozak, you should just use your teammate to keep Aaron away and Colin. They can maybe win the constructors more easy.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but that's everything. I think I just want to congratulate him, and above all, thank him. And just a shame Aaron is not in this commentary box now, because he also did a great part in that fantastic race. I think you guys go down in history now, man, in Invictus Racing League history. That was incredible.
Yeah, Waris, I've got to agree. Lozak, Waris is correct there. I actually do believe that was one of the epic battles that's ever happened in Invictus, and I'm sure our league creators and controllers will view this back and actually highlight it as one of the best races, one of the best battles we've ever seen. So I thank you for that, and I thank Aaron for that. Absolutely fantastic. But I'll let you get off, Lozak. Congratulations for the win, mate. We'll see you next week for another difficult race, which is going to be Great Britain. There's a lot of British drivers in this league. They love that track. So get your practice in, my friend, and we'll see you next week for the British Grand Prix of Silverstone.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers.
Good night, my friend. So, Waris, wow. I can't actually wait to watch that back. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, too. This is why we love racing, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with battles like that. I mean, I'm actually really looking forward to all the other leagues watching this back and seeing what battle these guys had, and how Senna and Prost it was, because it's absolutely brilliant. And
also, you know, the respect for each other, because they bang tires, a little bit of contact here and there, but it never was too harsh, or they never push each other off, never push each other on the grass. It was.
That's a brilliant point.
Respect, that's the most beautiful about it, I guess.
It is. No, I think you're bang on there, mate. That is a brilliant point to make. I mean, I keep saying 18 laps. It was more than 18 laps, but the last 18 laps on those hard tyres, you know, they must have switched positions, 10, 11 times maybe even 12 times, and not once did they lose a wing. So I think everyone in F2, maybe even in F3 and the rest of the league, should take a leaf out of these guys' book and just watch how they did it. You know, the ferociousness, but the mutual respect from the drivers battling like they did it's something that makes Invictus Racing League proud of the drivers that do that. I think they are a credit to the league. I really do think they're a credit to the league. So, you know, I tip my cap to them. I don't know what you say in where you're from in Holland, but do you say tip the cap?
Yeah, we say exactly the same, mate.
Yeah, tip the cap to them.
Yeah, but at the end, TB obviously was very close, but I think that's not really the way it is, because these guys have really been dominant. Because there was so much fighting going on, they must have lost 2, 3, 4 tenths a lap when they were fighting. So if they would have stick behind each other or something, there would be a gap of 10, 15 seconds maybe. So I really think those guys can be the leading force this season.
Oh, definitely, mate. Definitely. But I mean, I think we've been. I think some of our listeners might be wanting to get off and get a refreshment break. I don't know about you, but I definitely want a refreshment break after that because my voice is starting to hurt now. I don't know about you, Boris, my friend, but
yeah, you're right with that. I want to thank you. Want to thank the racers, and I'll say until next week then.
Yeah, well, we join round 3 back to Great Britain for Silverstone. It's our third instalment of the league. It's going to be, well, I hope we have an exciting race like we have tonight. But I just want to say thank you to you, Warris Lander. It's always a pleasure to have you in the commentary box with me. It's an absolute pleasure, mate.
Thank you too.
So guys, if you've been watching tonight, thank you for joining us. If you're an avid watcher and you've been joining us for the seasons and seasons, then you know exactly how much we appreciate you. If you're new to Invictus Racing League, if you're watching us first this season, then welcome to you. It's always nice to see new viewers of the league. Please spread the word. If you're watching us back, look to the right on top of the screen. You've got that bell symbol and the subscribe bar. Subscribe to us. Hit that bell. Every time Invictus goes live, you'll be notified. Whether it's on your phone or on your PC, you'll be notified when we go live. We've got many leagues. It's not just F2. We've got F2 and F3 that happen on a Wednesdays. So you can't watch us both live. But if you watch F2 live first, then you watch F3 afterwards, that'd be brilliant. We've also got the No Assist League that happens on a Monday. All the drivers race no assists. The only thing they're allowed to do is have the racing line on. But if they don't race with the racing line, they get an extra point. Then, of course, on Tuesday, we've got our Performance League. Everyone races in the Performance Lead cars, which basically means if you're in the Williams, you're going to be in a slow car. But if you finish first in your race, the next week, you'll probably find yourself in the Williams. So it balances it out. It keeps it guessing. The Performance League has been one of the leagues where we see it open wide. It kind of balances it out. It's not necessarily equal performance, but because it chops and changes. But give it a watch, guys. See what you think. Look back. Have a good watch of 2 or 3 races so you see who wins, where they go to next, and what they do in that race with the slower car or the not so performance enriched car. And of course, as I mentioned, on a Wednesday night with equal performance leagues, make sure you watch F2 live. Don't be watching F3 live. So you watch F2 live, and then once that's finished, you can go back and watch F3. We've also got GT Sport. We've also got FIFA. So guys, get on the Invictus website. We've got an abundance of information there. One of our absolute fantastic guys of Invictus, Gareth, has been back and has logged masses of data from every single season, every single racer in Invictus, and it's called the Hall of Fame. Get on there. Look at the Hall of Fame. Get us on Twitter as well. You'll see us on Twitter regularly and Facebook. So guys, do get on there. Get involved. Just immerse yourself in Invictus because we welcome everyone here. And of course, if you do want to join us in the Racing League, even if you want to have a dab hand at commentating, there's always going to be opportunities to have you a dab hand at that. So guys, get involved, contact us. If you do like us, share us. I'm going to leave it there, guys, but Warris, if you're still there, thanks again for joining me, mate. We'll see you guys next week. Same Wednesdays. It's going to be 7 o'clock UK time for the hot laps with Warris Lander and myself. And then following that, at 8 o'clock, is the main edition for the Great British Grand Prix of Silverstone for round 3. Do join us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.